Hi, in this video we are going to learn the iterable interface in the collection framework. So iterable interface has three methods. Iterator, this method returns an iterator over the elements in this collection. Then for each, this is added to iterate internally using the functional interface from Java 1.8 onwards. And Spliterator, this method also added from Java 1.8 onwards, and also it actually used to split and iterate the collection. Okay, so let's first check the iterator with example. So first was just normal iteration. Let's say this is our data. Okay, so if how to iterate over list, so we need to create the iterator object from the data list, like this is one this dot iterator, and then iterator dot hash next, and we need to have the element by iterator next. So in the for loop class it is already explained. If you have not checked that, you can check the video, the 8 ways to write for loop. So here if I run this code, then it will print the city name. Now next is the iteration using the for each. Now for each is the new method added from Java 1.8, and it if I go to the details of this for each, it actually accept the consumer. In detail what is consumer, it will be explained in Java 8 features playlist, you can check. So here, like I will explain how to just use this API. So there are three ways, like one that I can define the consumer internal to this method only, method local. So if I run this code, it will print the element of the list. Let's check that. So like this. Next is the method name method syntax. The syntax is little bit different. Here just we just omit all those things, just write the actual method whatever is required. So if I use this API call, then also it will print the same thing. Yes, and next is that when the consumer can be externally defined and use it inside the internal for each loop, like the city consumer, this is a separate class. Here I can write my own logic and then call it from the internal for loop passing the object. Okay, so if I call this, it also currently print the same thing, city name. Okay, so I think it is clear. So next is Spliterator. So let's first check the slide. So Spliterator is like it actually split the element of the collection and then iterate over it. Two works done in one. So it is Spliterator. The main function, like I mentioned, it is splitting the source data and processing the source data. So if I like compare with Iterator, then Iterator introduced in Java 1.8 and Spliterator introduced from Java 1.2. Here it is 1.8. Iterator, it is an iterator for whole collection API. Spliterator is an iterator for both collection and stream API, except map, that except map. So here if stream and collection both has the feature of Spliterator. And iterator is a universal iterator, it is not universal iterator, whereas Spliterator is not universal iterator. And iterator, it does not support the parallel programming or parallel processing. As Spliterator support parallel programming if proper class in, like if I use Iterator like and have the you can also have the flexibility to implement parallel programming, so in that way it support. Okay, so I think that's all. So if now go to the example, so it is like, let's say normal, it is a loop, we need to create this class. So from the collection API we have a Spliterator API. So if I go inside this Iterator interface, we have so many methods like try advance, try split, size, characteristics and all. So this will be explained again in the Java 8 feature list. Okay, so I'm not going in deep. So here I just want to show you how to use it. So just you need to call this Spliterator, and then there are some API of Spliterator we can use, like for each remaining. Then it's apart from that, there are some API for each remaining, like get comparator, and also I think tie advance I already explained. So many APIs, so I just want to print the element, so I will use this for each remaining. Okay, so let's call this API. So it will print the city name. So that's all. So I hope you understood in depth. So better always, whenever you are using any Java API, it is good practice to always go in depth. So always check the interface and the source code documentation, what is the actually it is made for, which version it is applicable, and that, like that. Okay, so I think I hope you understood. Thank you. That's all.